Croatia, home to one of the fiercest rivalries in world football. Dinamo Zagreb against Hajduk Split. Winning it means everything.
Put simply, I can only compare it to the birth of your own child. It's a real high. Everybody's happy. Everybody congratulates you.
To play in it, an honour.
It's incredibly beautiful. All the rest is trivial. You have to experience it.
Losing is unthinkable.
On the other hand, when you lose, it's like a funeral. It's like that. Everybody's sad. Nobody talks. Nothing is right. Whatever you do, it's just not good.
It's a rivalry that has launched the careers of stars.
The Split fans like to watch good football and enjoy great football, great passing moves. However, in the derby matches, they're not interested in anything but victory. We could play the strongest defence for 90 minutes. We could be hitting bars and posts. They would only want the victory.
A game that showcases the heroes of tomorrow.
When I walk down the town, people stop me and say, break them, defeat them. Everyone is just waiting for that game, waiting for the victory so they can be happy. This game for them is a very special event.
The rivalry between Hajduk and Dinamo goes back a long way, but must be considered differently before and after the breakup of Yugoslavia in 1991. Back then there were 4 teams: Dinamo and Hajduk, and from Belgrade, Red Star and Partizan, with what would become 2 clubs from Croatia and 2 from Serbia.
We have to draw a clear line between the 2 periods of the derby. The Croatian derby within Yugoslavia was experienced like a very important match, but not with as much violence as it is today. Today it's been elevated to a higher level, simply because that is what is left in Croatia now. Those are the 2 clubs that remained. There is an antagonism between Dalmatia and the north, between those 2 regions, and it's normal that the game reflects everything that is happening in society. The antagonism in this case. Before you didn't feel it because we acted together, at least when it came to Croatia in opposition to Yugoslavia. So we felt Partizan and Red Star were our true rivals more than Hajduk was.
No moment symbolised that more than Dinamo Zagreb against Red Star Belgrade on May the 13th, 1990. With the police controlled by Serbian leader Arkan, the Red Star fans tore into the Dinamo stadium unhindered. But on this occasion, the Dinamo fans, the Bad Blue Boys, fought back.
That day summed up all the bad side of Yugoslav politics that was present for 50 years. The unfairness to Croatian people, the injustice. While their fans, guided by Arkan, were demolishing our stadium, the regime police didn't do a thing. When our fans wanted to protect our stadium, our home, our Zagreb, Dinamo and Croatia, then the police acted in an incredibly drastic and aggressive way. They started to beat up the fans, to crush them.
In one of the worst riots ever seen on a football pitch, the Croatian people had seen enough. And so too had Zvonimir Boban.
I was warming up on the field and I couldn't have watched it any longer. I started cursing a police officer and then that legendary conflict happened. 2 policemen started hitting me with a baton. I hit one back and I hit him again.
For many, the war on independence began on the football field that day. Boban maintains that his actions were no different from any other fighting for Croatian pride.
Lots of people saw it as an incredibly brave act. I was wearing club colours, as anyone could see. I was in the media spotlight. Unfortunately, less attention was given to all those young men who were on the pitch with me and who were fighting for the Croatian cause too.